Hello everybody all over the world. I hope I have prepared enough, because this turned out to be one of the most in-depth and massive weapon analysis HiGPS episodes to date, because not only is it the panic attack, but it's also 4 classes, which all work very differently along with this weapon. So here you can see I've done some tests. We've covered this before, but in case you missed, like, the downside of this weapon is that the more you shoot, the less accurate it gets. However, if you're good at pressing Q, you can do this on pretty much every class. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, I made a Twitter post where I posted some data. Some people were, well, Amadeus was like, this weapon is crap for soldier. And I was like, well, have you tried this? And then he got back to me. He's like, actually, it's amazing. So I'm just gonna show that video real quick just to show you what kind of power we are dealing with here. So let me just load that up real quick and then we'll get into it. We're having a ton of demos. Okay, shoot, there we go. All right, so here we have the wrong camera. Here we have the screen. So this is gonna be compared to shooting rockets and switching back and forth. So basically what is happening on the left there with the panic attack is that as soon as I fire a rocket, I switch to the panic attack and switch back to the rocket launcher and I fire. It doesn't fire as quickly as a rocket launcher does. However, the data that we have, if I can find, of course I forgot to find the tweet, so let me just go to my website, HiGPS.no, and there you can find all kinds of stuff. Why isn't the tweet there? Wait, hold on. Why is it? Huh. Well, shit. Fuck. And then trying to find anything by me on Twitter is a fucking nightmare. Let's see if I can find it elsewhere. Did they get... Where the fuck is it? People even replied. Oh God, I hate Twitter so much right now. I need to find the data. Where the fuck is it? Oh, okay, I found it. Jesus. All right. Basically, let's see if I can find the tweet. There we go. All right, so I found the data. I should have looked for it elsewhere than in fucking Twitter. Basically, let me see if I can bring this up on your screen so you can see it as well along with me. God, this is interesting. There you go. It's too small. Fuck. Anyway, basically, if you fire, it says 3 panic attack shots, but it's actually supposed to be 4, so it's wrong. But basically, you can see the DPS for 4 rockets is actually 178 kind of, but then 290 with a soldier. So basically, you can churn out, if you're right next to the target, you can churn out basically an additional rocket at the cost of basically nothing. And also, if you're wondering how much does it stack with switch speed with the degreaser and the panic attack, here's how much the difference, because it doesn't stack as you think. So this is Vegas, what I use. Here you have seconds. So if we look, we can see that the shot comes out for the degreaser on the left here. Let's see, go back, and it comes out. Let's see, here is the switch. Here is the shot for degreaser. So that's at 12 seconds. And then at 16 seconds. So it's actually just a couple of milliseconds difference. So it's actually, it doesn't stack, similar to how the reserve shooter doesn't stack as well. So enough with that shit. Let me show you the range of which the panic attack is good. This range, it's fucking great. This range, it's fucking trash. Okay? So you have to be here for it to be good. And only really soldier and the pyro can do that. If you're doing that as a heavy or an engineer, you're doing it wrong. As a heavy, you're supposed to be using something else. So with that out of the way, let's get fucking into business and go and look at the vast amount of demos that I got, and I had to do sorting like nobody's business today, and we'll just see how this works. So first up is going to be Big Pyro, and he doesn't use the weapon switch to deny the increase in spread. However, the increase in spread stops after you've stopped firing or reloaded or something like that. But he's going to be playing Pyro using this weapon with the Neon Annihilator because why not? And he, because as a Pyro, you do want to do that weapon switch to reset that downside that you can completely negate by just pushing a button. You can see 13 damage at that range. That's not very good at 32. So already right here, he's treating it like a normal shotgun. You can see he got a kill, but that guy was pretty weak as well. So do keep in mind, it's kind of like it's really like a rocket launcher shotgun because the spread is just massive and you will hit multiple targets. So that means you can be a bit more, it's a lot more forgiving when you shoot. So here you see he does very little damage to this heavy because he's out of that sweet spot, but then he goes around on the side here, runs up in the back, and he hits both the scout and the heavy at the same time, aiming between them, then runs up to the scout face who has a scattergun, which is actually better close range than this. So that's actually, he treated the panic attack like the shotgun, and a lot of you did, because you have to be insanely close for it to even make up, and that's like the biggest issue right now. So I'm also going to be trying some new commands here today because I have to fast forward through a lot of demos to just even make it on time. I was thinking of making it a two-parter, but nah, let's not make it a two-parter, and I need everything here so I can see the chat and see myself. And here we go. All right, so this is going to be Cliff Puncher. He's playing engineer here on Snowy Coast. I just fast forward. Basically, he just built this stuff. And here he is. So this is actually one of the few engineer clips where it actually mattered that he had this weapon. So here he is just defending, and there he has to go panic attack, nice skin, and then he decides to put down teleporter exit. He doesn't have an entrance, but you know it doesn't hurt to be prepared. And then of course Dispenser's in a bit of an odd place. He has to make a kind of a perfect jump to get up there, but that's fine for now. You can see the Sentry is doing that, but then a sap from a spy. Shit. All right, let's get up there and fix it. Okay, can't fix it, so let's just retreat and go back. And there we go, putting that down. There we go, build the Sentry and shit, a heavy. And we got the heavy, and the heavy was like, I'm the worst. And to that we say, sucks to be you. So I was alt-tabbed because I wasn't prepared properly, so we're just gonna watch that again in slow motion and see exactly how much damage he is doing. Because close range, it does a lot more than the regular stuff. So here it is, and then comes the sap, and then he retreats. So he doesn't know what's coming, and he's just like building here, and here comes the heavy, all right? So here we go. This is kind of okay range to be in. So he just goes forward. He's like, fuck it. Hits the heavy for 106, that's more than the shotgun. 99, that's pretty good. 106, very good. That's like more than a good close range rocket, or similar, and there you go. Taken out, and then he dies immediately. And that's pretty much the only times when the engineer, it's useful for the engineer, which is, it's basically when people are right in your face and when spies are sapping your stuff. Any other time, this weapon is not recommended for engineers. It's kind of underwhelming. So here we have this guy, it's Cliff Puncher, does something cool. So here's something that we didn't see a lot. You jump, you shoot a rocket, instantly switch to this, and do a double combo. Look at this, 178 damage in one rocket's time. This is how you use it, all right? This is how you use a soldier, jumping close, rocket, timing. However, you gotta keep an ammo track, and it's very hard to do. It's like, it's basically like using the vaccinator for the medic, only for the soldier. It requires immense awareness and situation and mechanical skill like this, and then he dies like this. He does something cool, and then he dies like an idiot. But good for him is that earlier I saw a demo where he made that jump like 3 times in a row, and this was the one time he couldn't do it. And I decided to show that because he did the perfect like jump, switch, boom. 178 damage. You can kill an unhealed demo just by jumping on him. And that also conserves a lot of rockets for you, which allows you to jump more and continue being a fucking pain in the ass. It's great, but it's hard and it's very different. But due to the spread, it's super reliable. It's way more reliable than the regular shotgun because if you just aim the same, it will do the same. So as for heavy, it doesn't make a lot of sense unless you're using it with the Fists of Steel and some other kind of wonky combo. So this is none other than our friend Esteban, and he's not going to be switching weapons and resetting that spread. And he's also like, no, medic, don't heal me, dude, don't. And then the medic just goes backwards, and then he gets stabbed. Oh well. Oh, and he dropped too. All right, get the spy. And there we go. All right, so now the spread is reset. And no fucker with the heavy. Okay, you know that, don't fucker with the heavy. So he's gonna go on the flank here and shoot this engineer. And he's gonna be having some spasms. And you can see, even though if you miss, you're gonna hit some. So that's also like another level of stuff because the spray is just so huge, you don't actually need to aim at the guy. You can aim slightly to the side, you will hit with just as many pellets. Keep in mind, it's less damage, but more pellets. And it deploys faster, so it's faster, closer damage overall. And a lot of people aren't really fan of like the less damage part, but there's more pellets and you can do a lot of damage. So then you do the famous Brass Beast spawn camp, which works great. That was a spy, using our ears. Kill this guy as well. Yes. All right, they don't spawn here anymore, but a nice little cleanup from him. He's also using the Killing Gloves of Boxing. Keep in mind that a close range crit with this thing, where you hit all the pellets, does 216 damage, while as a close range shotgun shot, where you hit all the pellets, does 180 damage. So that's quite a lot of damage. So here he just goes in, Esteban kills that heavy, Scout runs into his face, then he kills someone. And then he just kind of just attacks at any point in time. And chip damage is great. Kills people. Victory. And there you go. So as for heavy, it can work, but if you're doing the FOF, the Family of Fists, where you Fists of Steel and you switch, you'll be seeing that later. It's better to just use the shotgun or Family Business because this one requires you to be very, very close. And I think I recorded about 40 demos of heavy, and I think once I was within that sweet spot range. Mainly because heavy is fucking slow, right? Cool. So next up, we're gonna look at a Pyro dude. It's gonna be Electric Mace on Gold Rush, and he's gonna be showing us how to do this. So he's using the Power Jack, which works great with this weapon because you use the Power Jack to close the gap, get closer, do the damage. So he's gonna start off with a nice, oh, look at that. Nice little reflect there. Keep in mind this distance fucking sucks at using the panic attack, so don't. He's just gonna be reflecting instead, which works really great. So this example, I'm gonna give like a B because he didn't light the heavy on fire. However, someone else did, so that's fine. He goes on, kills the heavy quite easily. Because keep in mind, you do over 100 as opposed to like the 90, whatever you do. So you can kill a heavy in 3 shots, while as with the shotgun you can't. But you can make up for that with that stuff. So you can see also here, 3 damage at that distance. Would have been a lot more with the reserve shooter in that case. If you're shooting jumpers, reserve shooter is the way to go as Pyro. So he just goes forward and he's getting overwhelmed and dies. However, he had proper positioning where he got into a heavy that was on fire, killed him with ease using the panic attack, and the panic attack eats heavies for breakfast, right? If you just get close or get the jump on him. Because usually what happens with Pyros is that you get the jump on the heavy and he revs up and he kills you because you don't have, even with a shotgun, you don't have that burst damage output. But because this thing deploys so fast, you're gonna have that damage available whenever you want. Shit, I forgot to do something, but that's okay. I'm just gonna hit the fast forward button. All right, so here we go. You're gonna have human-shaped set of pixels. And he's not gonna be using the panic attack as well as he could. So this is Foundry. The game has been going on for a little bit, and they're gonna push onto the enemy's second here. So nothing really of interest happened before, so he starts capping. Here comes the demo man. This is a big deal, because right now, he is below half health, and the demo man is behind cover, which means the demo man can just peek, shoot, peek, shoot, peek, shoot. So as a heavy, you're fucked if the demo man knows what he's doing. So right here is a good spot. Like, here comes the soldier. If the soldier would have seen him, he would have been dead. So here is the thing. You're heavy, you're slow, you can't do anything. What I would have liked to see him do here is like, fuck it, panic attack, run up in your face, shoot. But he doesn't do that. He kind of just barely survives. He doesn't have the Fist of Steel either, but he survives with like 5 health. And then he goes back, runs to this, no sandwich because shotgun, goes back. And then he's a bit reluctant to go in without any like kind of support. Very like half health heavy is not that great. And then he's gonna slow this. It's all by himself too, by the way, so there isn't really much else to do. So he's just occupying the space and waits for teammates. There comes the medic. It's gonna allow him to have so much health with the damage resistance that Natasha provides, and he just goes in. And there you go, kills that demo, and he hasn't really been using the panic attack all that much, and that was kind of like the common denominator with everybody who submitted demos for this. They either used it like a shotgun and had pretty piss poor results, or they hardly used it at all. You can see he's using it here, but there really isn't any point. And here comes Crit Screed, comes in and just mows down and everything. Dude's behind, and then they just go and capture, and they win. So with this counter loadout, I don't remember exactly if we're using the Fist of Steel or not. I don't think so, because he wasn't using it all the time. Then it's very hard to do it as a heavy. You have to be like, the enemy has to be constantly on your ass. One scenario where I can see where the enemy is constantly on your ass is if you have a medic and the medic is constantly getting bombed. That's like the one occasion where I think you should run this. If you're using like some fancy schmancy thing. So let me just fast forward here to the next one. So this is gonna be a methamphetamine, and he is gonna be playing soldier, which is probably the most effective one, more than Pyro using this thing. So he sees a dispenser, you know, long range soldiers, pretty good at killing the stuff. There you go, takes that out.
Easy operation.
Then he just reloads, shoots some rockets. Wait, hold on. TF Dinga this thing. There we go. Now we have hit sounds. There we go. Hits this stuff. All right, there we go. So he's up on top, you know, shooting down. This is a great spot to be in as a soldier if you can take this spot as attacker and people. Look at that guy. Oh shit! Shit! Oh no! Here's the big downside about shooting rockets close range. You hurt yourself, but with this thing, you don't. You get rocket damage, but no self-damage. All right, so witness the epic battle. Miss. Shit. All right, gotta hit him. Oh, we missed again. Look at this. Look at this gathering. It should be in his chest, not on the wall. And then, ooh, 50 damage. All right, cool, fine, whatever. So he did kill that sniper close range, but that was close, and I think he would have done the trick with that stuff. So this weapon is hard to use because it requires like extremely quick reaction times, decision making and timing on that, and aim. It requires so much flick aim at close range, and if you're not used to hit scan that much, it's going to be very hard. So he goes around the side here. You can see this isn't really the range for that, but it's great for finishing off targets who are really weak, where you would have killed them in a single shot anyways. So goes down, gets the drop on this medic, kills him, goes for a jump forward. And the way I've structured this episode is that you're gonna see like the technical skill gradually increase as we keep going, because I'm at the end. I'm the one who pioneered all this stuff because I am so good at this game. Anyway, so the next up is gonna be an engineer one, and I'm gonna be fast forwarding this quite a bit, and because his name is Bit, and he's an engineer. And as an engineer, I'm not gonna show you the part where he fucks up all at the end, but he basically does everything right. So I'm gonna be fast forwarding here. So he's playing engineer on offense, not using the gunslinger. So there you go, he builds a sentry, moves it slightly forward, moves the dispenser slightly forward. This is called turtling. So he's just basically has some buildings, fixes this, you can see, repair, the dispenser gets killed, no matter, we're gonna build a new one, use the pistol, and I think it will work better with the switch speed with the short circuit, but I haven't played it that much because you'll be better off with anything else. So there we go, and then he moves this forward, securing this from flankers and scouts, you know, as an engineer, and then he builds, look at that, builds an exit. He now has forward positioning, helping his team. Teleporter is online. He also has the Eureka effect placed teleporter, so he only has to spend half the metal. You know, really good stuff. Really good engineer stuff. Just doing everything right. He's not overextending. He's keeping the front safe. Dispensers for teammates when they need this. And he's also not falling too far behind. He's fairly close to the cart. And he's just defending this spot. Then he moves this up here. Fixes this to level 3, and there we go. And then he looks and says, yeah, they don't really have much. Just gonna work on this. There we go, grab full ammo, and then we're gonna move this up so it actually covers something. And then we're gonna move up the dispenser as well. And you can see we're just slowly but surely moving forward along with the cart and the team. Top tier engineer stuff, moves this here. And then the sentry shoots and kills some stuff. And then, of course, by moving the dispenser forward, he's also forcing his teammates further forward as well. And you can see it's working. So then he repairs this, moves it before he gets destroyed. And then he's going to go up on the roof here and, 13 damage. Ugh. And there's a sentry up there as well. Don't you worry. We have Sentry Busters coming in later. Don't you worry. 12 damage, 21. Using it like the normal shotgun. And that's not his fault because you don't want to wait. You do want to get there. So his positioning as an engineer is actually top notch. There we go. Moves the doesn't want to waste time with the dispenser. He just wants it there as quickly as possible. So I love this. It's an engineer play, and then he just does 6 damage, 38. Okay, fine, sure. Get the spy, build the sentry here, and you can see by the if you're playing engineer right like this, you hardly ever end up in a situation where you could have used the panic attack to its full ability without doing some kind of cheesy, stupid stuff, which isn't. Look at this, Eureka effect. There we go, back only 100 metal upgrade. There we go, and he's gonna be able to get that to level 3 in fucking no time. There we go, nice.
Easy operation.
Doing everything, and then here we are. So, at the end, he like moves his stuff forward to a really bad spot, and he gets stabbed, and everything he had got destroyed. But I'm not gonna show that, and if I don't show it, it didn't happen. Wink, bit. I got your back. So basically, in that situation, as an engineer, the situation never occurred. You would just be using the regular shotgun or rescue ranger. I think he could have used the rescue ranger and actually had the pretty much exact same results. And he didn't really position his sentry in a way that required it to do something else. So because I'm terrible at Pyro compared to my other classes, like my sense of mastery is pretty low, we're going to watch Amadeus, who's pretty darn good. So what I want you to pay attention to is his reflect weapon switch, because this is something I've not seen a lot. Also, it's the panic attack is okay at removing sticks like this. You can see because of the wide spread, you might be able to hit more than one trap, like he did there, I think. Anyway, there we go. Ooh, zoop. How about Scorch? I think it's a Scorch Shot detonator that removes them, so either of those two choices would have been better, but we are now on steel. Just gonna pick up this health pack and move around, use the power jack to close the gap, and where was the guy? There's the engineer. Just burn him, switch, and shoot. So there we go, like super tight beat shots, and the reflect back to shotgun. Look at how quick this is. I'm just gonna see if I can find, okay, there we go, and there comes, look at that! That is some crisp timing on like right click pressing 2, if that's even the thing that he's doing. All right, so you can do that with the Pyro. It requires a lot of micromanagement, a lot of skill on your part, and also positioning, because you can reflect and do the shoot, but if you're not close, you're not going to do the damage. So I think a lot of people aren't really used to how insanely quick this is. It's quicker than normal shotgun, but not insanely a lot quicker. So still it's just shooting, and there we go, taking that out. It's very, it's really something else. And it's very difficult, but I do think that if you practice this a lot, you can become a master and a pain in the ass to deal with. You can see it like this. Even though he wasn't as close to the enemy as he could be, imagine if you, because also right now the air blast mechanics for pyros are kind of new, because a lot of people don't know if you aim straight down, you're gonna launch them straight up. So basically what you can do, you can launch them straight up, walk under them, aim up, shoot them in the ass, and do like 112 burst, and then set them on fire and knock them away. So that's also pretty darn good. So we're gonna have some more Amadeus showing us up here, and then I'm gonna be doing because I'm using some new commands that I'm not used to, and I remember to put them in correctly this time. So I'm trying to learn some more scripting. So if you know how to alias that takes an argument, let me know. So this is another engineer one where he actually gets to do that. So we've skipped the part where he builds up, but basically right now you can see that the spy has currently just sapped his sentry, the dispenser. And there's the spy, and this is the perfect distance. So I think he hit the spy once. There we go, and the spy's dead. 2 shots. So there you go. Fix this, and then fix this. All right, so repair, upgrade. There we go. And then fixing this as well. And it only happened twice during this game. So I do think the enemy team has more than 1 spy. And you can see also Wrangle here. A pretty good spot. It's fair for the defenders, but not so much the attackers. And so he's just, you know, in the back, hanging out, working on the stuff. Looking for his first, should probably let the gun shut. All right, so we see sap on either entrance or exit. So that means the spy is probably close, or he's gonna go and get us. Not sure, I didn't look at the name, so he might be the same guy. There we go, and this is the right range. However, you have to hit him. Nice aim. There we go. But he fixes this anyway. And that's the only demo of all that I received where they actually did this. So you can see that because it's so reliable and your spray is basically this is like a square, your aim has to be dead on or else you're gonna miss even at close range, especially the less meteor classes like the skinnier ones like spies from the side and stuff like that. So you should always try to position yourself so you hit them from the wide side in order to be able to do the damage that you need to do to kill them. So there we go. Bam. So Amadeus submitted demos before he knew the soldier trick, and this was the demo after the soldier trick. So this starts off by him just seeing the spy, killing him. All right. So look at this. I'm gonna just slow it down so you can see exactly how to maximize this. You shoot, switch, shoot. 134 damage. There is no way you could do that amount of damage in that short amount of time. However, you might be able to do it with the reserve shooter, but you have to hit the soldier before he hits the ground. However, this is so, like the key element here is speed. It's so fast. It's almost instantaneous. So you basically get additional rockets when you're close by. So there we go, and he's gonna go and do this again. So shoot, and you can see like if you're too far away, 13 damage, you're gonna waste your shot. So he goes in and gets some kills here and there. And you can see like it's hard because it's so fast. It's a lot faster than the reserve shooter. And the reserve shooter requires the enemy to be airborne. And then like, where'd the scout go? Where is he? There he is, 28 damage, killed him. There we go, and he's gonna go and retreat here. And then he's gonna run forward again. And we're just gonna show a little bit more. So there we go, look at this. Nice. Looks for the spy, and then he retreats again, and then he does a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't really use the panic attack. But that's basically, we've seen this before, like the jump, instant switch, shoot, and then switch back. Like you have to switch as soon as you fire. And if you do it correctly, the sound will cut out, so you won't actually hear the panic attack fire, like the fire sound complete, because it will go like and get cut off. So next up is going to be different, and this is a Pyro one. So do take notes because he's going to do some stuff that's pretty good and also pretty bad in the same sense. Not because like he is bad, but it's because the weapon is designed the way that it is. So here we go. Look, this is a prime position. Heavy isn't paying attention. Just run up, and how much damage was that? 132 damage. That is crazy. And then 98 damage on that spy. You can see 17 and 12, so not the best there. So then you can just use the power jack to close any distance. Of course, he's also using this, so it's like super duper fast. And right now he isn't using it to its full potential because you have to be close. And because it feels like a shotgun, it feels pretty natural to do it like this. But in this situation, I would rather you just run closer, burn, and then shoot, because at this distance you're just tickling them basically. But some nice pyro plays here and there gets the job done eventually. And as for management, you do have to reload. So if you're a flare gun detonator user, then you're gonna have a hard time. And I like that. I'm just gonna go back a little bit so you can see that again. And that's just because the wideness of the spread of this weapon that makes this possible. So first he's gonna go and get a random crit on this heavy. There you go, bang, kills him. And then he aims here, and I think he's gonna hit the heavy. Let's see. So you can see the spray's pretty wide, and he actually kills. Who did he kill? He killed someone that he wasn't aiming at anyway. And you'll see that happen sometimes. If people are like really weak, if there's like a couple of guys together that are all on like 3 health, you can kill all of them with this. And then he goes back here, uses the power jack, does some reflect, uses it like the shotgun. Different, you gotta use it differently. You gotta use it like the close range panic attack. Like this, you're just wasting bullets. Then hits the pyro and oh hello medic. Whoa, how much damage was that? I didn't see. 183, almost the same as the shotgun. So during a certain range, it's going to be pretty similar to the shotgun. So the amount of shots you need to take to kill somebody, like the damage is going to be lower, but the amount of shots required is going to be the same. Similar to like if you shoot someone as 125 health and you do, it doesn't make a lot of difference if you do 180 damage twice or you do 90 damage twice. It doesn't really matter because they're dying too. And look at that, a double reflect baby with 5 seconds left on the clock. Different with the backpack carrying his team to victory, except for the soldier that had a lot more points than him. But he was second! Out of everyone who won, he was second in winning. All right. So the next one is very interesting because it's going to showcase something that I didn't think about but could potentially be very powerful if you learn to adjust to that particular style. So this is going to be none other than our friend Nightfowl. Yes, there he goes. He starts off by killing that medic with a nice little shot there. Sees a soldier. He's in the range, but his aim isn't quite there yet. And then the heavy. And then on this soldier end, oh, the air shot. Getting him. Nice and easy. So he's also using this, but keep in mind that you do have that additional rocket and you kind of have to really get used to using that if you want the maximum output of this. But then again, of course, the Liberty Launcher, less damage, but it's faster rockets. Does allow you to move around a lot more, so you can use that to get a lot closer a lot more often. But he doesn't have the sustain, so he has to go back into spawn to do this. So we're gonna see some opportune moments here where like your old habits of using regular shotgun is going to get the better of you. So then he goes and kills that heavy that's been chasing him. So he goes around the tunnel. I like that he doesn't go in the tunnel because his current build is all about the momentum and running around and stuff like that. So there you go, shoots that soldier. There you go, taking him out. Would probably have the same results, if not better, if used the reserve shooter. However, it wouldn't be as quick. But you can see we would get about similar results. So then he's going to help take out the sentry. It's just going to be patrolling here because going into the tunnel when you have this kind of mobility build doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why would you go somewhere where you can't do what you're set up to do, right? It'd be like you would use the parachute here, but not inside, right? You can see at this distance, this is shotgun distance, not panic attack distance. You can see that pyro would have been dead if it used the shotgun or reserve shooter. But then again, keep in mind, you got to reload everything. And with this, okay, look at this. All right, we got incoming. Okay, bam. Place your bets. How is this going to go? We have a soldier up in the sky. We have a soldier down on the ground that hasn't reloaded properly. How is Nightfowl going to do this? He jumps, and then he should switch to the panic attack and shoot him, and he tries to air shot and misses, and then and then the guy blows himself up on the sniper. So not the best shots there, because that's why you have to be so quick and accurate with this thing. If he would have done that, I would have rang the air horn, and I would have all of you leave a comment on his profile telling him he was epic, but that was not the case. Then going around the side here, sees the scout, kills him. Engineer, there's no chance. He should have switched a lot faster, but he died. But regardless, there's some potential there, but it needs refinement. It's very difficult and very different. I think that could be like the slogan for the panic attack. It's difficult and different because it requires you to use your other senses. So I mentioned that we would have a Sentry Buster, right? Didn't I? I did. And I hope this goes well. This is going to be Adam W2S, and I hope I timed this right. All right, so here he is. He's on upward, and he's going to go. All right, he's going to go up. He has the cow mangler. There's a scout. All right, reload. 19 health! Time to go! Oh! The gun's down! Disabled! Oh! Yes! That was great. That was like the old red robot. You know, the Australian that doesn't make videos anymore. He was like, when you had to preload the panic attack, and then he would do like this kind of jump where he would like disable, jump, shoot. This was a lot cooler. And for anyone who knows where that song was from, you guys are cool. For those of you who don't, suggest you watch Dragon Ball Super. It's great. All right, so here we have Adam WTS once again, and he's not going to be doing any sentry busting this time. He's just going to do ass busting. So there you go. Look at this jumps and hello. Gets a couple of kills, sees the medic. Oh, misses, but that's okay. We're going to hit him a second time, and the soldier. So this is great. There we go. Ah, yes, the random crit skill thing that I did. Cool. So he jumps up here, lands on a pyro, he dies. Because there really is no limit to how fast you can be. Like, was that the power of Ultra Instinct that you saw just there? Was it? And then doing some long-range zoning while his medic keeps him alive. Switches to this. Shouldn't really do that at this point. You should just keep doing the rockets. There we go. And then try to save the medic, which he does. But there's a spy behind that he gets taken out as well. Something you should always do is pay attention to your medic and try to place yourself between the enemies and medic. And gets a nice little double kill here, up to a 5 kill streak. Sees this pyro, uses this like the shotgun. Adam, don't use it like a shotgun, and all that screaming has given me a mild headache. Ow. So there you go, kills the pyro, goes up, up on the high ground, sees the demo, gets popped, jumps straight down, and now is a good time to switch. But he doesn't have to, because they died anyway. There you go, kill that pyro, and then he's just kind of still shooting. He's not doing the switch thing to reduce the spread, which he absolutely should do, but he's been doing pretty well so far this game. And then he dies valiantly. Cool. Good stuff. Coming up next, it's going to be Ricardo Celeste, and he's going to be playing heavy, and we're just going to show a small fraction of his play where you can see that he's trying, but that's where it ends. But that's where it starts. It starts with you trying, and it ends with you being great. So he's still in that transition period. So we're here on my favorite map, Under Mountain. And he's using the Fists of Steel, and I think he's using some kind of switch thing. It's not as refined as my style, of course, but we will let it fly for now. So here he is. He does the right thing of just not switching to anything, and then he goes forward, and he could switch to the Fists of Steel to have the soldier not do as much damage to him. But he doesn't do that because the finesse, the execution skill isn't quite there yet. But it will get there in time. Then he teams up with his medic. Of course, if you hold the Fists of Steel, the medic will heal you slower, but build Uber at the same rate. But you do want to have that 450, because keep in mind, if you are stuck at 450 overheal, and you can do, and this is something very scary. Don't switch to Fists of Steel if there's a soldier who does, like, you know, the Market Garden, because if you look at the Fists of Steel, you take 100% more damage, so that means double damage, which means, you know, it does like 192 or 198, I don't remember. So let's see. So that, you know, you would take a lot of damage. Hold on. You would take 384, and his health is currently at 300. So he would be dead. And there, you should go close and shoot the guy. And there you go, it takes him out. Yeah, used quite a bit of shots there, but you should also use the minigun as well. So here we have a heavy with the Natasha, so you could probably have contested there with the rest of his friends. That's what I would have done to go closer. Then he stands and uses it kind of like a shotgun. And here would have been a great spot to just switch to the minigun as well, but he doesn't. Here comes a scout. And if you're at this point and you're going to punch the scout, don't use the panic attack. Just use this. Use a sandwich or something. If you're at this range and you're gonna punch, you gotta use the panic attack, because that's the optimal range of doing it. So he just punches him and the scout fucks off. And then he's gonna be reloading and for some reason not do as much damage as he should on that guy. And then he is just gonna go back, I guess. So there you go, kills him. Oh, he's back. He's back for more. Holding this to get reduced damage, and then he's like, well, screw this, I'm gonna go back to spawn, and then after that, nothing much more happens. So that's a good example of using a weapon and trying to use the weapon, but not being able to do very well with it, because I do think it's not within his style to use a shotgun as a heavy, and therefore the timing is all off. So with that, let's look at me using FOF. F-O-F, the Family of Fists strategy, where basically you hold the fists to avoid taking any damage, and then to take reduced damage, and then you switch back to the panic attack to do damage really quickly, and you basically fuck up the timing of scouts, soldiers, and demos, maybe snipers to some extent, but mostly those first three. So then we're just looking around for some guys. We're defending here. There we go. Just do it. There we go. He dies. Check back for spies. There we go. Demo's jumping. We're just going to stand here and do chip damage. Help out our soldier just a little bit. There we go. He dies to some overdosage of the overdose. And then we're going to go forward here. Okay, here comes the soldier. All right. So this is the trick, right, with the Fist of Steel. So up with the panic attack. Shoot. Shoot. Switch. All right. So I didn't switch there. And then switch as I get hit and switch back. That is really quick. So if you look at this in real time, so now you know what it looks like. When I didn't do it the first time, but I did do it the second time. This is the speed he's looking at, so it's pretty quick. You gotta be fast and you gotta be timed properly. I think this would be easier for pyros since you're used to air blast. So you basically do this on the air blast timing. Then we go back and you can see, like, so far, it's only been one guy that's been in the range, and that's because we walked there. I could easily have just killed him with the minigun. But there we go, running in. There goes shoot switch, shoot switch. There we go. He dies. We get health when we shoot. Isn't really a whole lot happening here as a heavy who was already revved up, and I'm not, and I die. Ugh, like a noob. So the next one actually shows off an issue with me where I make a big mistake. Oh, Jesus, like the biggest mistake you can ever, like this is like shitting your pants at your wedding mistake level of mistake. Kind of, I'm not sure. You'll be the judge. So basically we're gonna go and there's a demo that is Uber down here, and we jump down, and right now if we switch to the Tomislav, we're dead. We're absolutely dead. We can't do shit about this. What we can do is use the Fist of Steel and try and tank the damage and block them from entering, and that's what I'm trying to do. And then I punch, and of course he's taking melee damage, and I switch to this thing and I shoot once. I hit him for 107. That's pretty quick, and I hit him for 96. So he's almost dead. He has full overheal and is like 100, like close to 200 health removed. So he fucks out of there. So I pick up this health, and then I switch to the Tomislav. I'm fucking dead, because this guy knows how to shoot, and I don't have the burst damage that I used to do. And you can see he has 71 health. I'm gonna go and rewind this once again. If I would have just followed him and shot him with this, I would have killed him, because I would have done like 80-ish damage, because he was in that sweet spot range. So there we go. This is what it looks like in real time. So go down, and then you switch, and punch, shotgun, shotgun, shotgun. Here I should have chased with the shotgun, but then you decided to do what I like to do, and that is pretend to escape, but you really aren't. So basically a Fist of Steel shotgun is a great response to when demos are like zoning you, and they're like kind of sidestepping back and forth and preventing you from shooting stuff. Cool. So coming up next, we're gonna look at some soldier stuff. There's gonna be a lot of soldier stuff, because that's what I had the most effective. I didn't do any pyro. I just tried pyro, but I felt like I could do soldier a lot better. So we're gonna show another one of these burst landings. So we're just gonna jump forward here. This is Sunshine, the map that makes me the maddest when I have the worst teams for some reason. It's just this map that makes me the most angry. So we go for a little jump, and there we go. So right now I would only had 1 rocket left. So and I have 2, and I kill the soldier, and I jump into my death. But if I didn't have that rocket, I wouldn't be able to hurt those guys. So that's what I mean by sometimes it counts like like you basically have 2 rocket launchers if you position yourself properly, because the damage is just there's major damage. All right, so moving on, we are now here in Barn Blitz last. I'm going to show you a little spot that I was at where I used it. So we go down, we do the basic soldier stuff, shoot, and as Pyro is weak, we do some damage on him. And here we have some pretty good situations. We're in good spot to do some proper damage. And then, of course, we need our rocket launcher first, so there we go, and kill the sniper. And that's pretty much it. That's a great little zoning place where you can stand and definitely use the panic attack. It wasn't like the best examples, but it's like that spot is pretty good for soldiers because you can juggle and you can retreat, and it's pretty good. So if you want to practice with this and you play Barn Blitz a lot, try that spot. Now let's watch me fucking mess up my reload timings and run around with nothing in my clip, I think. So here we are on Foundry. I'm playing against some pretty competent players here, if I don't remember incorrectly. So we try and kill this scout here and get a random crit, because we're so good at the game. And then I didn't take the health back because I just knew that the medic was here, obviously. It's not like I missed or anything. So we do a little jumpy jumps, check our back to see what's going on, moving forward, and fuck me, scouts. Jesus, this thing is not very good against scouts, but it's good when I have help. So you can see I tried to like do the switch. So that's me basically using a macro to do the fastest weapon switch I can using like the family of fists thing. And with every shot, I'm resetting my my scatter path, or scattering range, so it's just as accurate every single shot. Which I hope that they do, because I don't feel like the increase in accuracy actually does anything when you can just switch back to the same weapon really quickly and just negate it entirely. So that's something I hope they fix, the same as with the Fist of Steel, faster switch speed denial. And then we die. Yes. So you saw how that looked? It's like, looks weird. And it's kind of weird to do the timing on as well. Moving on, we have more stuff to go through, believe it or not. So here we are on Metalworks. This is going to be a bomber kill on a heavy. So we jump, see that there's a heavy there, shoot a rocket, and here, bam. Nice. And then we die. We would have not been able to get that kill if we'd used anything but the panic attack. So panic attack is kind of like a bomber's best shotgun friend. If you're going for like the one-way bombs where you bomb in, you kill stuff, and then you die. So I think in the hands of really good soldiers that have sick aim, it's going to be pretty darn impressive and dangerous. It might even get banned in leagues because it has so much potential for quickly just killing you. So we're gonna show you some more these fast kills that you wouldn't have gotten unless you do this. Of course, we use the whip that only sometimes makes you run faster. Not always, just when it feels like it. It's kind of like a cat. Only wants to cuddle when it wants to. So there we go. We get the speed, and then we use the speed to jump. And then we switch, kill that guy, and so that went by pretty quickly. So let's just go and look at that again in slow motion so you can see exactly what's happening and what I'm doing. So there we go. Here we are once again, getting ready to jump out. Here comes the jump. So we shoot first. We actually hit the medic there. And then we shoot this engineer. We do 20 damage, and we still have the speed. And like, all right, get the medic. We would not have been able to kill that Pyro if we didn't use the panic attack. So I got like a bonus kill for using this weapon and being able to properly like kill it. All right. So this is going to be the second last demo before we're at the end. And now I remember I forgot what we're going to be doing next week. So we're going to do this, do it live. So Kritzkrieg is pretty good. We hardly had anyone use the Kritzkrieg with this thing. So here we go. Boom! 216 damage. Bye-bye. And 158 even at that range. So that is pretty good. Probably would have done 180 on that Pyro, but he died anyway. So who the fuck cares, right? So there we go, shooting forward. So you can see that the applications for the panic attack mainly lies with Pyro and Soldier. Not so much with Heavy and very little with the Engineer. It's only like very specific circumstances. So of course, spend your overheal time just being in the way of the demo, taking damage, allowing you to let the medic build Uber on you and prevent the enemies from going forward. You can see like the quick switches and then the reload management. There we go. And now we have Kritzkrieg again, so here we go. Another Kritzkrieg with the whip speed, and then I run in, I think I kill all the stuff here, and then they die, and yeah, that's it. Nothing more interesting happens after that. So you can see, being close, hugging your enemies, putting the gun in their ass, or in their face, and shooting, it's pretty good, but it's hard and different and difficult. So this is going to be the last one for this episode, and we managed to actually not spend too much time on this. Thank God I learned something new about fast forwarding and stuff like that. So here we are on the Borneo, yes. So of course, if you don't have a lot of medics, this works pretty well with the black box as well, because you do save that one additional rocket if used correctly, and you can really capitalize on it. I'm not using the black box now, but here we go. We shoot the Pyro and boop, and boop. And you can see I do like the fast switch, so you can hear like the sound is cutting out. So there we go. Jump on the Soldier. And I'm not using the man treads. Whoops. There we go. Kill him. And ooh. So that was my part. That was my bad. That was like my old like man treads instincts kicking in and be like, you should land on his head. Well, I should not have. I should have landed next to him and then shot him in the head. So there you go. That's the spy. That's the switches, and then I die. So that's the last thing you want to hear. You don't want to hear that sound. That's not what you want to hear. So that was the panic attack. I do hope that you guys saw some potential in this, because I know Amadeus, he had like a turnaround where he's like, oh, this weapon isn't so good for Soldier, but then you know my secret technique, you know, the foof, the family of fists technique that only we know. It's pretty good. So let's figure out what we'll be doing next week, because I forgot to do that because I spent probably 7 hours looking through all the demos or something like that. So we covered the panic attack. What else should we look at? Cool. Should we do something fun for you or fun for me? All right. Let's do a spy episode. So we haven't covered, like the Deadringer got a change. So we're going to look at the Deadringer next time. And here is the Deadringer. This is the weapon. The one where you fake your death. And you can use whatever unlock you want. And if you want to be a good spy, you should use this, because this weapon is fucking bullshit. So be sure to submit 1-life demos of you doing that, or if it's a multi-life demo that is very long, do include the tick in the file name. If you include it in the description of the mail, I won't see it when it's in the file system, and I can't go and check because there's a renaming process that happens. Cool. So next week, Deadringer, panic attack, good if you're close, shit if you're far away.